Spiritual Principles. Rabbi Michael-ben-Pesach, Portnaar. The 29th Spiritual Principle. The highest light constantly spreads and expands in abundance, without any interruptions. As it is said, I, Havaya, do not change. From Tes, Talmud Eser Sfirot. And in accordance with the explanations, understand well that the higher light does not stop shining to creation even for a moment. It does not fall under the concept, God forbid, of occurrence or renewal, but that it is in a state of absolute rest, and the whole aspect of contraction and distortion in the light is referred to here only in relation to its effect on its perception or reception by the Kli. That is the central point. Explanation. Despite the fact that the highest light does not stop shining, the Kli receives absolutely nothing from its luminescence now because the Kli reduced itself, that is, reduced its desire to receive, in order not to receive the light in stage 4. And that is really the central point, but only in the 3 previous stages that are in it, the desire to receive is weaker than the desire to bestow. Thus, the bestowal rules in the first 3 stages to a greater degree. The highlight is not affected by the contraction at all, and does not change its path, God forbid. But just as it shines within Ein Sof, it also shines during the contraction, and after the contraction, and in all the worlds together, and even in the world of Asiyah, absolutely without any cessation, even for a moment. But it's the Kelim themselves that make all these changes, for they receive nothing other than in accordance with their attributes, measures, that is, based on the desire to receive, which is in them. This is a very grand understanding, to know that everything is in one person. Nothing can be different. The person himself determines the measure by which he receives or does not receive. This is the result of what we read. It is necessary to understand well that as far as you have the desire for the spiritual and the eternal, for your completeness, that will bring you to that perfected state. So what do we have? You always have a sort of a spiritual aura, your perfect state. That is, one that is inherent in the purpose of creation in relation to your soul. This is your perfected state. It is always there. You don't feel it, but it is there. And beside it, there is your present state. When we take this difference between the 2 sets, the perfect state and the present, we get the difference, the delta, which should be reduced to 0 during our lifetime. And then you will achieve your perfection. If you don't work on it every day, you have a lot of work in the material world, then it puts pressure on you. And this pressure increases more and more until you begin to work on yourself. Why? This aura around you is like a cargo of sorts that lays there. It must enter into you, as the light does not stop striving to enter the Kli. The Kli makes all sorts of plans and calculations in order to receive or not to receive the light, and receives only what it has to receive, while your whole task is to receive it. But meanwhile, you still have no strength to receive. And so you resist this. So the reaction is your resistance to receiving this part of your delta of light, which is felt by you as evil, that originates from the control system of the universe. If this did not exist, you would have been happy with what you have. You would be laying around in your bed and would not strive for anything else. And in order to get this delta, any part of it, you need to make an effort, agree with the highest control in relation to you, and stop tilting at windmills, meaning stop fighting imaginary enemies. Choose instead to agree with the single creating strength. This is what causes some suffering, discomfort, because you have to choose what the Creator wants for you. You must choose giving instead of your natural desire to receive for your own sake. This is where all the suffering is felt. That is your place in you. This is a place where you yourself must feel all the abundance destined for you. You must make this your place so that it can accommodate all the difference, the whole delta between your present state and your perfected state. This cannot be done in one fell swoop because there is no strength for it. Instead, it must be done gradually, every day. This is your task. Only yours. No gods nor anyone else can force you to do this. You have to expand this place within yourself so that you can gradually accept an increasing part of your delta of light. And it is only yours. It belongs to you. The light of Ein Sof, blessed is He, which includes 4 stages that are called the 10 Sfirot de Or Yashar, does not cease to shine below for a single moment. But since there is no comprehension in the light without Kli, therefore only the Kli of receiving is needed. And when each partsuf and step you're on, at that very moment, comprehend the Kli, and then through the Kli, they comprehend the light in the measure of the Kli that they have grasped. It is also explained that Or Hoser is the root of all Kilim, that are in all the worlds, which rises from the Zivug de Chaka, the colliding Zivug, which is on the Masach, in Kli Malchut. Thus, at the very moment when a new Masach is established in some partsuf, we find that the light of Ein Sof, which includes 10 Sfirot of direct light, or Yashar, immediately spreads to it, and it hits the Masach, which in turn raises Or Hoser, in the measure of the magnitude of this Or Hoser and the strength of the Masach. And this is called the dressing of Ein Sof in the Kilim, or in the Sephirah. For the name of a Sephirah indicates the measure of a certain level of light of Ein Sof, which is dressed in it. Meaning Or Hoser rises from the Pei first, and then it dresses on Or Yashar. Listen carefully to what I'll say now and try to figure it out once and for all, and everything will be fine. So from the Pei, the mouth, and above is the location of the roots of the Kilim, i.e. it is not the Kilim yet, but only the embryo of the Kilim, the thinnest sheath. How are they formed? When Or Yashar comes to Malchut de Pei, she pushes him away and dresses Or Yashar. Now the 10 Sfirot de Rosh are obtained. So then the 10 Sfirot de Rosh are only the roots of the Kilim, as there are roots in the earth from which sprouts have not yet come out. Now she reflects them from the 4th stage, which we're talking about now, reflects them towards Keter, i.e. she entangles the upper 10 Sfirot of Or Yashar, forming something like the thinnest shell into which these 10 Sfirot of Or Yashar are placed. But there is no Masach there, because Masach is manifested only from the Pei and below. Now she takes these 10 Sfirot into herself, and from this Malchut de Pei, 10 Sfirot are drawn down, and she becomes the Keter of these 10 Sfirot, which she has taken into herself. These 10 Sfirot from Pei and within her are called the 10 Sfirot de Toch, or 10 Sfirot of the body, the inner part. The last is the lower Malchut in the body, Malchut de Malchut. And Or Yashar can penetrate to this place, but no further, because there was a ban on the penetration of Malchut de Malchut. That is, this place of Malchut de Malchut is called Tabur. Listen very carefully, because this question confuses everybody and nobody understands anything. They study scientific Kabbalah for more than 20 years, but each time they keep repeating nonsense after nonsense. The light does not go on. The light of Chokhmah cannot be received. So what happens next? Now we have 10 Sfirot, the Guf of the body. And then what? What happens from Tabur and below up to Siyum? Isn't there also a place of creation? So the light that is now in the body from Pei to Tabur is called Akudim. Akudim means connected. They are connected. Why are they connected? So why are they connected? When Malchut absorbed the light of the 10 Sfirot Dirosh to Malchut de Malchut before the Tabur, we received 10 Sfirot in the body, but this is only one Kli. Malchut extended itself by one Kli and it has 10 Sfirot. What happens now? This is always very difficult to explain. At the beginning it is Histaklut Bet, the second peering. The light reaches the Tabur and repels it. There, the bitush, collision, occurs. The inner and the outer light weakens the masach, and this light, which was before the tabur, comes out of the partzuf and gets expelled. And from above, the light always continues to flow to the lower. The light never stops coming from the source. The Kli Malchut begins to empty. The fourth stage, Masach of Malchut, diminishes to the Masach of the third stage. And now Malchut has the Kli Nefesh to receive the lowest light. Everything that is in the Guf is only one Kli of Malchut. Malchut has absorbed itself, and now she pushes him out. There is a place for the light to exit the Kli, and then the light goes from the third stage to the second stage, and now the Kli, Ze'ah, appears. Previously there was a light, but now the Kli has been formed due to the fact that the light has gone out. Now there are two Kli. And then again there is Istalkut, the exit of the light, and the thinning of the Masach. Just do not confuse Histalkut, the departure of the light, and Histaklut, peering, which is the last, when the light spreads to Pei in the head or to the Tabur in the body. And then the Masach is thinned from the second stage to the first stage. Then from the second stage, Binah, the light shines out and rises to Chokmah. Then Malchut gets the third Kli, Kli of Binah. Then two more exits of the light occur, and the Kli Malchut thins to Keter. Now there are already 5 Kelim of Malchut, into which Or Choser enters. Thus, Kelim are formed, and the levels are formed from the bottom to the top. Light comes into the body, and then comes from the bottom up. What light? The Or Yeshar, weightless, delicate light, which Malchut captured in the head, leaves the Kelim. This is the thin component, Or Yeshar, which used to be connected with the Or Choser in the head, leaving the thicker light as Kelim for the Or Choser, from the Or Choser. And what then is done under the Tabur and below, to the Siyum? Or Yeshar can still penetrate to the Tabur, but not below. And the place from Tabur to Siyum is only able to push away. I.e., for the Tabur and up there is only repulsion, but there is no force of attraction. There is no dressing of the Or Yeshar, which is above the Tabur. What does this mean? There's only Hasidim. Repulsion attracts only Hasidim. There is only repulsive force. For example, there's only light nefesh. Remember well that under the Tabur, wherever it is, there is only the power of limitation, so as not to take on the light of Chokmah. And therefore, only the light of nefesh can come there. Ruach cannot go there. Ruach is also the light of Or Yeshar. It is the light of Ze'ah, Ze'erampin, light of bestow, the male light. And under the Tabur there is only the female, the receiving but not giving, light of Nefesh. Therefore the dominion of Malchut is always from the Tabur and below. Its the place is there. It can, of course, rise through the connection to Yesod by properties, etc. But there is only light of Nefesh. Remember this because it is very, very important. Under the Tabur, you can only receive the light of Nefesh, but nothing can be given. This light can only be received, but there is no bestowal of it. It cannot be given to anyone. Therefore, 10 Sfirot from Tabur to Siyum are called 10 Sfirot de Sof, end. This is the end, because these 10 Sfirot can no longer give anything to the lower level. Now we have 10 Sfirot de Rosh, 10 Sfirot de Guf, 10 Sfirot de Sof. And he now tells us that all these Sfirot from Rosh to Siyum, Aka, Adam Kadmon, are all Keter. Keter of every position. They are all Ketarim, plural. Every word in Tes, in Talmud Eser Sfirot, is very, very important. This gives us the basis for all spiritual things. What I said earlier is that it is not so important and that it is a manual is also correct. But at the same time, it is the most important thing that we need. It cannot, of course, be used in its pure form without studying the Zohar. And together, it all gives a reaction, a burning that produces the greatest effect in us. After all, what we do is burn up. We burn up the desire to receive for our sake in our kelim. Our kelim gets scorched, and due to this, all we have, or we receive notches and scars. And this reminds us of the work that we do. And no matter how you put it, this is still suffering, because our desire to receive wants only to take. It only desires demanding, give me everything. And here it is necessary to give. This means that there are tzimtzum. As long as there are no kelim, while there is nothing, bestowal always opposes our nature. The cutting, the development of the kelim, the establishment of the kelim takes place precisely by what we are teaching now. And for this, you need patience. But you have to learn. I must say that this is the most important thing for me from all that is in the world. Of all this builds your kelim. What else can your kelim build? Is there some kind of office in which you work, or someone, and you use your outer kelim in order to earn your bread and earn your living and feed yourself and your family? You say, of course, and that you like your work. And the principle here is this, that external, what we do, it is necessary. But are you a computer? The fact that you work with a computer or in a bakery or in an office, does this form your personality? Know that you are your kelim. And now we are working, each one of us, individually on our kelim. This is not some kind of private culture, not some kind of knowledge that you have to follow, or religion, or the claims of some Rav or priest. Be as I want you to be. And you will not find salvation anywhere else other than in your own kelim, through individual spiritual work. Therefore, treat this with great patience and love, and everything will come to you. It takes time, so be patient and persistent. Yehuda Ashlag wrote that the spiritual comes when studying it for 3 to 5 years. So it gets absorbed so that no one can take it away from you. And I will say with an amendment that it may take a little more time because you're not doing it professionally, not all day and night, since you're combining it with your work outside your kelim, to provide food, to pursue some external interests, etc. Not everyone has the opportunity that I have. I dedicated everything to it. I devote all my 24 hours to Kabbalah. After all, I came to Kabbalah, leaving all external affairs behind me. But not everyone has such an opportunity for such a burning desire. One must want to work this way, or want to work outside of himself and do various other things. That's why I say that it takes about 7 to 10 years. Nothing is wrong with that. What is 10 years to receive the spiritual, to tear oneself away from the slavery of this world? Be well.